Alright, we're going to work on this cam cover some more. So I need to make up the breather tube hole right here. So I need a piece of tubing, which I don't have, so I've got a piece of bar stock, solid. Cut it off to a piece of 2-inch. That goes on there like that. So I cut this off to what we needed. There you go, 201. This is how you measure it. So anyway, this is sticks up 1.5 inches. So it sticks up a 1/2 inch higher here. That's how far it goes into here. It goes about 480 into this. So 480 to 490. So I get a 1/2 inch sticking up. So I get what we need. So once you take this piece of 1/2 inch, bore a hole through it, and then we can go ahead and press into here, and that's all it takes. Can't buy it, can't steal it, you make it. So we need to figure out what size hole is in here. So you got 2 ways that you can measure it. Do with one thumb, obviously. There, stick it over there. Okay, so we're around 25-ish there. Okay, so that's 425. In case you want to read these things, these are 100th thou right here. Dial's 100, so 120, 425. It's at 430 right now. So you go over to your drill chart, decimal chart, whatever you want to call it. You look for something that's 400. 25, 437 is 7/16, 421 is 27/64 millimeter, which I don't deal with. So you can put a hole thin, you can make it real thin by putting that in there. You could put that in there and make it really thick, or you can do the 64 drill right here and be pretty damn close. So 27/64 is what we're looking for. So go over to handy dandy drill index. Somebody was making a mess over here cutting a pulley down. It chips everywhere. We didn't show you that either. Okay, so we got 422. See, all even on the indexes tell you what the numbers are right here. 764. Right there. Okay, so you make that hole in there like that, and it'll fit. You always double check it and see if that's actually what it is. So yeah, that's pretty close to it. Doesn't want to cut it. Doesn't want to go in the hole, so that's pretty close. Okay. Take this. Don't know if I need it. Yeah, we'll take it anyway. Alright, lathe. Switch my chuck jaws back around. So that goes in there. Put a little pressure on it. About that much. This is another drill chuck. It's the center. Crank the wheel back. It pops it. This is just a taper. There's the drill chuck. Oop. Crank that back out some more. That'll be enough. Just a longer taper than the other one. So it goes like that, and you just pop it in. Just like that. Okay. Big hole over here. Crank it down. And it goes in there and holds that. But before we do that, we need to center drill it. So these are center drills. Small one, big one. Yeah, we got a big hole to do. I'll use a big one. Well, somebody didn't jam in there deep enough. See what happens when you do stuff with one hand. Okay, enough of one-handed work. Time for a tripod. My favorite thing not to use. Okay, so now you go over here and you pop this in there like you're supposed to do the first time. That's in there now. Yep, doesn't move now. Okay, run that over there. And we drill a hole. Up. Now it's moving. I'm going to do it from both sides. And instead of drilling one hole 2 inches deep, we drill 2 holes 1 inch deep. It's quicker and easier. Back here, drilling away. And you have to feel how much force to push in with. Feel how it's cutting from here to. There we go. So we need a pilot drill, something just to shove through it. I'm not doing it. Smaller is easier to pull through. You can use lubricant or not, it's up to you. The drill will be happier if you did, but it makes a mess. I don't like messes. I don't care about the drill. I'll sharpen it if it gets too pissed off at me. See how it's drilling pretty good. Deep pressure. Chips start coming out kind of a yellowish blue color, it's time to slow down a little bit. These are getting up to 600 degrees or better. Okay, it gets it warmed up. It's definitely getting warm. So now we got a hole halfway through it. And maybe about this far in. So a little over halfway. So I'll flip it around, put it in the other way. There's what the center drill hole looks like. So sucker is hot too. Holding it too long. I can hold on for a few seconds, but not too long. Open the chuck jaws up further. Now you're not supposed to leave chuck here unattended either, it's dangerous. Always get it out of the way. Okay, next hole. Chips are coming out nice and silver color now again. Instead of being dark. About the same drill speed I had before. Starting to put a hole now on the other side. Here. There we go. Now you drill real fast now. Okay, so that hole's all the way through now. Back over here. Someone moved it. I don't know who did that. Shut that off. It's less dangerous if you don't leave it running. Okay, now we have a hole in there that's this big. Okay, this is our finished drill. See a different size? So we took out 50% of the material. Probably more than that, about 2/3 of the material is out. So this will drill a lot easier now. It's called step drilling. It's quicker than doing it, powering through one big drill, and it's easier on the drill too. Probably drill a little bit fast, but that's okay. See. Controlling the chips by how fast the crank and wheel back here. Alright, we're probably over halfway now. Yeah, it looks like about 2/3 of the way through. Okay, so you can see the bottom of the hole in there a little bit. So I'm going to switch it around. We're also going to deburr it a little bit. a handy dandy deburring tool. Deburred. It's also cooler now because we cut out the hot metal that used to be in there. When you cut out the hot metal, it's not so hot. See, it's not burning me anymore. Plus, thin wall material cools quicker than hot material, so we drilled all the heat out. Get away from the hot metal. Hot metal's gone. You got the cold metal left over. Plus, this drill had less load on it, so it wasn't making as much heat. Like the other one had a lot more load on it. That's why you step drill it. Again. Keep drilling. It's coming out a little hot. Deburr it again. Drill up. Now the drill is probably hot. Not too bad. It's warm. It's warmer. It's hotter than the other part is. There we go. One tube. And see, it's not burning me. It's not that hot because I cut all that metal out. Now the drill bit is hot though. It's a little warm. It's cooling off though, but it's still warm. Good thing I got thick fingers. Alright, so now we got our tube. Now we should be able to push this all the way in there without a problem. I'm not sure what the actual diameter of the tube is. I didn't measure it yet. It's around 1/2 inch. Okay, it's measuring right out 1/2 inch, right on the zero. So we should be able to run it the way it is. Now right now we got a little bit of rust on this thing, so don't like a lot of rust. So let's clean up a little emery paper, knock off some rust. It's also going to make it smaller though, so be careful. So we grab a piece of newer paper. It's not all oily yet. This is more vintage paper here. It doesn't cut hardly anything, so that's for fine work. It's also called strapping it. Like that strap. See the difference? We didn't take off too much metal. Hopefully no more than a thou. Yeah, we took out about a thou. See, it's one under the blind there now. We sacrificed 1 thousandth to make it clean. Do it again. There we go. You want to get sanding grit on anything, so you got to wipe it off. Or clean it in solvent. I like to clean them in solvent. So anyway, we got a nice, new, clean looking tube. It didn't take too long to make it. It took longer to find the material than it did to make a damn thing. And so we're about 1 thou undersize, a thou and a half maybe. So if we don't have enough press fit on the cam cover, we'll put a little bit of sleeve retainer Loctite on it. I might just do that anyway. A little bit of lubricant. So anyway. We'll go clean this up and we'll put it in the cam cover. Be back. Okay, we're back. So where'd my tube go? Ah, lost my tube. So I don't have a small driver stick through here to push it in. I'll just use the driver itself to do it. Sticks on like that and just push it in. So that's our tube. So we're going to push it into our cam cover. Here. So, looks like it's going to go in there relatively easily. We'll see how relatively that is. So I'm going to stick a little bit of Loctite on there. Let's see, I think I'll use red instead of sleeve retainer. Sleeve retainer gets a little aggressive. Put it in there. Yeah, Loctite never plugs up holes, right? Bullshit. It's open now. Okay, so take our tube with a Loctite on it. Smear it around evenly. Attempt to put something in the hole. That wasn't a very good attempt. Clear your tube out so hopefully it doesn't plug up again, but it usually does. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and try to tap this thing in there. Hopefully it will self-center pretty quickly. Okay, we know we want 1.5 inches deep, give or take a little bit. So piers are right on 1.5 inches there. That's 500 if you can't read it. You can go that direction, read it that way, 1.5 inches. So it's all the way in. I don't think it's going to fall out. Wipe off the excess Loctite. Don't need that in your motor. Make sure there's nothing, no metal residue in there. Yeah, white's bright. Yep, looks good and clean in the hole. So there you go. Cam cover is ready to go together now. So took an extra, half hour or so delay on making parts and probably half hour finding material. Good luck on finding one to order it. Just make the damn thing. Okay, so that part is done. One step closer. Okay, now we got this put together for mock-up, so now we need to put this thing together for real. The other thing we got to figure out is our oil system over here. Probably a good time to do that now. Now, I don't know if the customer wanted me to do a dry primary, basically, but the motor's not using the same oil as the primary. Or we want a primary, we just put oil it over there. It's not connected to your motor. It's two separate oil systems like a newer bike is. On these bikes, the oil, when it pumped over and came back, all the clutch grit and chain shoe material came back in your motor and didn't make your motor oil very happy. So most of the time we just plug that stuff up and put modern clutch plates in it. So I'm not sure what the customer wants to do yet. Then got back to me, I don't remember. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to plug it up. So factory is a big long fitting about this long that goes back in here for a hose to hook to. So if you're not going to use it, you plug that hole up right there. The hole goes over in the breather cavity in here. That's where the oil comes from. So every time the motor goes around, it sucks oil out. This is actually a suction line, not a pressure line. There's actually a feed line on the oil pump, which is right here. So if you're not going to use the system, you have to do something about plugging this up. So maybe I shouldn't do that one right now. Once you destroy these pumps, it's usually hard to make them go back. So, not sure what we're going to do on this one. Yeah, maybe we'll skip over for a few minutes. Think about how we're going to do that one. The other problem is I got to make the breather line fitting. Now this here is a Sportster breather tube. It has the same nut size that goes in here, but we don't have the same type orifice to push against on the inside. So I'm not even sure if this is going to work all that good. So let's just go ahead and take a look at it. See what we can do to make it work. That's a nice plastic. There we go. it's nice and clean, blow it off. Alright, so this is just a flared end over here that pushes against the inside of the case. I don't think it's going to push against it, those no problem. Ooh, it does. That makes it easy. Got tight. That's a good sign. Okay, the next problem is the line is not going to work in this position. It's going to have to be modified. I'm not sure how much we're going to modify it because I don't know yet. We have to put the motor in the bike first. But at least we know it fits. It'll work, so I'll deal with that for now. It's good. Only I got to figure out what we're going to do about the oil line system. I think I'll ignore it. Move on to something important, like put the motor together. First thing I do is take it apart, so we can put it back together again. My bench makes a lot of noise, lots of echoing. That's not me throwing stuff around. At least not much. Okay, now I get to push these out. Use a drift punch to knock them out again. Try not to let the rods keep banging against the case. Okay, that's all out. Wipe off your bench a little bit. Even though everything's clean, it's been on here. Parts do generate chips by working on them all the time. There's our right case, there's our left case. And the flywheel's already pressed in the left case, so it's done. Now somebody put this nut on here, we gotta take this off. The backwards thread so you tighten and loosen. Okay, so nut takes a 3/4 wrench, but when you use a wrench on it, it just rounds it off. This here is a special tool that holds it. Hits right on the flats like that. It'll unscrew it without damaging it. So this doesn't get damaged unless some dumbass screws it up for you. This is heat treated. Don't know who made it. It was not Jim's. I don't like Jim's version. I like that version. There's some import cheapo one I bought. Okay, now we can get this off. So I use a 2-jaw puller to pull it. You got to support the end of the shaft with a little special tool here. OTC makes these. This is heat treated, so the taper your punch goes in here, and it doesn't hurt the shaft any. If you just push on the end of the shaft, it will have a tendency of barreling it out on you, bending it out, flaring it out, whatever you want to call it. And it'll also split it if you put too much pressure on it. which is not a good thing, especially if it's a brand new shaft. Oop. Wasn't that tight. Tighter than my hand would take off though. Okay, so no damage for that. Clean a rag out. Okay, now we gotta get ready to goop everything up. So wipe off all your gasket surfaces and make sure there's no dirt, no crud anywhere. You don't want oil residue on your gasket surface area because you're going to have to put sealer on it. Sealer doesn't stick too good to oily, slimy surfaces. So you just wipe it off. See the rag gets dirty from doing it. So, okay, nice and clean now. So I use 3-bond sealer, 1184. Everybody else knows what I use. I get tired of writing it, so watch the damn videos, you'll figure it out. This hasn't been used lately. It's stuck on there pretty good. To make channel locks for. That's not a type of plier, that's who made it. And that is who made that wrench. That was a channel lock plier. Okay, this stuff dries up into a grayish, semi-hard material. What's good about it is, if it gets in the motor, it just kind of breaks up and pulverizes and goes away. So here's a piece here of the stuff that's on there. It just kind of breaks up. It's hard enough it breaks up. Just kind of goes away. Silicone doesn't go away. It just bounces around, compresses, pops back up in one piece, and plugs up everything. Not good. And you also only put a little bit on here. You don't need much. Just need a little bit on each surface. Just kind of like putting primer down for a paint job. Just enough to get the stuff so it'll stick. And you see how dirty I get? I got one little bit on a finger. People think they have to have gloves on all the crap to keep their fingers clean. That's a myth. Gloves get holes in them and all the shit goes all over your hands, and it goes up the whole darn finger all in your hand. Your hand is full of crap. If you didn't have the stupid glove on, you wouldn't be that way. Of course, the glove manufacturers don't like that when you say that. This has a lip on it. You want to make sure the lip gets completely filled up with the material here, sealer. Try not to pack and hold too much. Try not to get too much in the case where it doesn't belong. Let me see if I can hold I think I can hold the camera and do this job at once. Anyway, you see how it goes in here. Turn the damn light off, might help. So you see how it goes in like this. Just run your hand across like that. So you put a little bit on your finger, lay it right in front of the edge, and just kind of pull it on back like that. It just leaves a nice little trail all the way across. Same thing again. Kind of like squishing over the squeezy, except using your finger as a squeezy. Make sure you get all the way around the hole, but don't fill the hole up. And you don't want it on the inside of the case in here either. Trying to avoid putting it in the case. There's a little bit right there, so you just wipe it off. It doesn't take that long to do it. You don't have that much in here, so you don't have a lot of waste. A lot of stuff squirting in the motor. Whatever you see on the outside of the motor is you got on the inside. Now you can either wipe this along the whole edge. I don't really have that much on there, so I'm not going to worry about it. I usually don't. Okay, now you go over to your other case. Now this case here has the receiver lip in it. I do not put sealer in that lip because it's already sitting over here. I only put it on the mating surfaces here. It's best not to do the rod. So it doesn't take much. See, you only got a little bit on your finger. Gonna dab it on there. Get it to where it gets a good seal all the way around. So you're not trying to pour it on, you're just trying to get the surface nice and wet. A little bit thick right there, but it's alright. Now once this stuff starts to dry up a little bit and tack over, you don't want to go back over it because it just tears it all up and defeats the purpose of putting it on there. This tube's a little bit old, so it's just the right consistency right now. Not real watery, but it still flows real good. See, I'm not getting a lot of stringers coming out of the tube when I do it. It's always a good sign. Make sure your overlap's done under there. See, I'm purposely not putting inside that groove on the back side because I don't want it in there. Whatever you put in there is probably going to squish into the inside of the motor. That's why you don't put it in there. There's no place for it to go except in, so can't come back out. This lip over here stops it from doing it. This is one of the places where they leak right here, where it gets real thin. So you gotta make sure you got a good coat right there. Not an extra thick coat, just make sure it's coated. Rod out of the way. One more right here. Should be all we need. It's already starting to tack off over here. Starts to get a little glazed look to it. It's getting tacked off. Okay, so see how it's all on there? Nice and clean all the way around. No low spots that are uncoated. Okay, I'll go back over here. Take my dirty rag. Wipe my dirty finger off with it. See, stuff just kind of rubs away, breaks up, kind of comes off. Not too bad. A little brake clean on it, a little solvent on it, takes off the rest of it, but it pretty much will rub off on its own. Just from using it, it comes off. Okay. Make sure you cover up your tube or it sticks up and really gets hard in there. Okay, we got plenty of drying time there. Okay, now we just take it, you grab it like this, we got good control. Stick it over the shaft, try not to bang it into anything. Center it up on the flywheel and just drop it on down. Pushing in a little bit, I usually just go a little bit back and forth, just a few thou. It kind of takes the two surfaces and kind of goes like that, make sure they're coated. And you're good. We're going to find our studs here. Okay, here's one of our big ones. The other big one. Okay, you lift the case up off the end of the crank snout, and you tap these in. Get your 2 dowel studs. The big bolt started. Okay, you want to get your other dowel stud up in here. So remember, it's not the longest one. It's one of these two here, the one with the washer on it. There we go. The black paint covered up by the sealer, so you wipe it off. Put the lay-in washer on there, and then our nut. Centered up pretty good.
Oh, what are you doing, Scooby? Did you get that rat? Did you get the rat?
I think he's trying to find a rat right now.
Did you get the rat?
Customer's coming in.
Get the rat.
Oh, that's you. You're not a customer. You're a pain in the ass.
Are you videotaping?
I would never videotape a pain in the ass coming in and disturbing Scooby.
I see the lights on, but nobody's home.
Nobody's home. We already know there's nobody home.
Hi, Scooby.
That goes without saying.
Are you embarrassed or woofing at me?
He barks at everybody anymore. He doesn't like Harleys anymore either. He barks at all the Harleys. He doesn't bark at jet bikes for some reason.
Buddy, he didn't like bikes at all. He used to bite. As soon as they started their bike, he would jump up and bite their ass before they got out of the driveway.
Yeah, that's not how you're supposed to deal with bikes. Okay, there's that one forked. There's that one. That one.
You are taping. The light's green.
Light's green. Right's red.
Huh.
Green means you're not taping.
Oh, I thought there was green back here. Am I just seeing shit?
You're seeing all kinds of shit. The red's on the screen over here. What, do you think I'm just wasting electricity around here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would. Alright, we got 2 bolts left. What you doing, Scooby? Why would anybody want to watch me put a case together?
So they can put their own case together.
I think it's like having ocean water out in the, when you're trying to sleep, you just kind of watch it and fall asleep.
What's up,
I
Scoops?
think that's what it's all for. That's why everybody watches my videos. Makes them sleepy.
Well, I've been telling a lot of people, watch,
I can get paid for that, can I?
go on YouTube, watch your how-to videos.
Alright, that one's torqued. Where's this long one go?
In the hole,
Where's the short one go?
in the other hole,
What hole?
the one that's
That hole right there?
No,
How do you get that out?
you just pick it out.
I'll just pick it out. Okay.
Yeah, that one goes right there.
You sure? Is that just because I just put it in the hole?
Yep.
Yeah. Looking genius over there. See if YouTube will censor my video again. They've been doing a lot of that lately. They have a new logarithm for figuring out vulgar videos, and mine keep popping up.
You're kidding, right?
No.
So you're not supposed to say dick skinners?
Yeah, something like that. A few other words. You gotta wait for 1,000 views before they'll look at it and make it legal for people to watch it again. Look like we get 1,000 videos in a day or two, so every time it does, I just flag them. All right, does this turn? Oh, geez, that's really stiff. Okay, now we gotta tighten these down. How do you tighten them down?
Torque wrench.
Torque wrench.
Well, that's how I do it. I know you do it by hand.
Torque wrench. 1 and 2. Just the right torque wrench?
Or you can get the
What's the torque?
air impact and
What's
turn
the
it
torque?
up to 250.
What's the official torque on this?
The official torque? I'm going to guess.
Don't bang that rod.
I'm going to guess 52 pounds.
52 pounds on a 5/16 nut. That'd be pretty good.
I don't know. Just
About this much.
just throwing numbers out there.
Oh, that's probably a good 25 foot-pounds there at least.
52 is not going to hurt it. It's not going to stretch the fucking threads.
52. It'll stretch the threads right out of it.
Oh, no. Here, let me try it.
That's a 3/8. You can torque a little bit more. But I still tighten it the same. Okay, what didn't I torque? You were interrupting me. What did I forget to torque?
I don't know. Just go around all of them. Check them again.
And if you torque them in the correct procedure, you know where you stopped. So you do these two, this one here, then you did 2 bolts, and then you bothered me. So what did I leave off? Then you do this one, and that one. Or
Right.
you do this, and then this.
So the motor mount, the ones by the motor mounts.
I always do the case decks first. Or second, I guess, would be the correct phasing. Oh, that one's got a lot of give in it. Here the threads are pulling. See there. See, that one required the wrench to be cut down a lot more than this one to get fitted in there because it's tight. Okay, what's left? This one. You're not listening, are you?
Yeah, I already said that. I said the 2 motor mount ones.
Yeah, there you go.
But how come you didn't put Loctite on those nuts?
Because I torqued the snot out of them. I don't need Loctite. Look at that.
I don't know.
Nice
Seems
and free.
every bit of hardware on my bike needs.
Then you look at the crank snout down here and you make sure it's not spinning. I mean, it's running true. Blow that up. That'll piss off somebody. So now you rotate it and make sure it's running true and not wobbling.
Yeah, you better hope it's spinning.
See, it's not wobbling. It's going nice and true. That's a good sign. Now, if that was wobbling, there'd be a problem involved. Now, twin cams are supposed to wobble, I was told by the factory, so they're okay if they're all screwed up. Okay, now you got to wipe off the residue. Now you see the residue right here? Yep, you blow it out, piss everybody off again. See how the residue comes out here? So you got to wipe that off. We're going to start with the stuff that's up here that matters. Where's that clean rag I had? I can use your shirt.
Sure.
Here, we'll get our clean rag out. Somebody said there's a comment this looked just like the same one I've used in the last 20 videos.
Probably is.
No, it isn't. I have more than one of these. They all look the same when they get dirty.
Maybe they meant that's the same one you've been using for the last 20 years.
That could be. Get a residue on there. And make sure you rub the rough stuff to the outside of the motor, not on the inside. It just kind of balls up and goes away, see? Look at those balls on there.
Scooby.
Scooby ain't got no balls.
Oh, Scoops.
Make sure you get all the stuff off your motor mount so they will be nice and easy to put in the frame. Alright. Where did I leave off at? You got a case side. much buildup I got so far. Not much. So what do you want me to work on? Oh, you had a stupid piece of crap you want to drill a hole in. I remember now.
I want to bore a 1/4 hole in the center of this sissy bar so I can screw a flagpole in it.
So you want to put a dick out the top here,
See?
so you can display it for Veterans Day. Is that what it was?
That's right.
When is that?
It's all month.
It's all month? It's a good thing because I think the Veterans Day is almost done for the day. Did you just think about this when you woke up in the morning?
No, I was thinking about it for a while, but I thought it would be a heck of a lot easier doing it over here.
Yeah.
Especially if I just hand it to you and point where I want it, and then you
Yeah,
do
just
it.
hand it to me and say, hey, do it. Is that what
Yeah.
you mean?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's a lot easier for you.
Yep.
Not easier for me.
Then I just open my wallet. See how easy that is?
You got money?
Oh, I got like $1.98.
That ain't enough to do nothing. Can't even buy a Starbucks for that.
Oh, I boycott Starbucks.
Okay.
They're anti-law enforcement, anti-American, anti-veteran.
They're Pinkos. What do you want?
Make my own coffee. Way better than Starbucks.
Look at all the goo everywhere. It's on
I,
the bench.
I call it Star Sex.
There you go. There's a nice black stripe all around the case now. Oh, you missed a spot.
So of course I could drill and thread this myself, but it'd be a heck of a lot easier if we put it on the mill.
Yeah. The mill's occupied.
Poke a straight hole. Well, put it on your drill press.
There's another project on the mill. It's that stupid pulley over there that's supposed to cut down. Some kind of a twin cam Evo conversion or something, or soft tail to turd bike. I don't know.
I didn't want to bend this, but I assume there's a bolt behind this badge. Does this just pry off?
You got a badge. You're a cop now? Imitating a cop? Okay, look at that.
What's the trick to get this
Free.
pad off of here? There's
Big hammer.
a bolt behind it.
You know, nobody knows what you're talking about over here, dumbass. Alright, so there's what the sealer looks like. It's all hidden, so you don't really notice it when you look at it. You don't have that nice red or blue streak going across it. You have a dark streak from the dirty rag, but that'll clean off if you want to. Alright, so that's how you get that part done. So that's it for now. We'll figure we're going to do this oil pump. And then Kelly over here, dumbass,
Put my flagpole on here, see?
stick his dick skinner up the front of it. Where's the flag?
Well, it's at home.
It could be a Canadian flag?
No, it's
Mexican
not.
flag?
American
Around here it would be
flag.
the Mexican flag.
No, American flag.
Yeah, sure.
Red, white, and blue.
What's this here?
It's an O-ring so the flag doesn't slide down.
Oh, gee, that's pretty complicated.
It's actually upside down. It goes this way.
Alright. You know I'm supposed to be working on this thing over here, not your crap.
Yeah, this will only take a minute.
A minute.
Okay. Probably a total of 15
Can't even see the... when I see those hands, I know it's more than a minute.
15 minutes from the time I hand it to you to the
Okay.
time that...
I think he's dreaming, but we'll see. Okay, that's it for now.